It's election time once again in Hypixel SKyblock, and this time around we have got another special candidate mayor, and this is going to go to special candidate Jerry. Jerry is a very popular mayor amongst a bunch of different people because of his 3 fantastic perks, and this is going to go to his first perk, Perkocalypse. Perkocalypse activates all perks of another mayor every 18 Skyblock days, which is equivalent to 6 hours. This is one of Jerry's most nutty perks in the game, essentially making it so throughout the time of his mayorship you get the perks of almost every single other mayor in the game, excluding only special candidate mayors. His next perk is going to be Statspocalypse, which increases most stats by 10%. This perk may not seem amazing at face value, but does have some really unique advantages we'll talk about later in this video. And the last one is going to be the Jerrypocalypse. This perk can be really good for making money during the Jerry Mayor, and we will also go over this more in the video. Overall, Jerry Mayor is one of the best special candidate mayors in the game, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make millions and millions of coins during his mayorship. But like always, before we do get started on this video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel so much. Not only that, but we are so ridiculously close to 10,000 subscribers. We are literally around 30 subscribers away. If you enjoy the video, just keep in mind that subscribing is always free, and you can always unsubscribe later if I start making trash videos. Lastly, if you have any questions for me, have any concerns, or you want to know what my mod pack or resource packs are, or you want to join in on the 10 million coin giveaway going on in the Discord server right now, please do consider joining. The link will be in the description. But as always, if you're here for the actual video, let's get straight into it. A quick note before this video gets started: if there's any part of this video that's more prevalent to you, please do consider looking at the time bar down below. There's going to be timestamps in this video. One of the best passive ways to make money during this event is going to be doing skills, and 4 skills in specific, which is going to be mining, forging, farming, and combat. Every single one of these skills has a chance of dropping in a Jerry NPC, or instead actually a Jerry mob. These Jerry mobs can come in 4 different rarities, which is going to be green, blue, purple, and golden. By doing every single one of these skills, you have a chance of spawning in one of these mobs next to you, and whatever rarity it is, it has a guaranteed chance of dropping a box of that rarity. This means, for example, if you're foraging trees, you have a chance of spawning in a golden Jerry, and this golden Jerry mob has a guaranteed chance to drop a golden Jerry box, which is right now worth around 1.2 million coins. This isn't absolutely amazing for late and mid-game players, but really excels when you're in the early game. For example, if you're doing any sort of forging or farming when you're in the early game to grind your skills up, you're going to be making a ton of passive money during the Jerry Mayor, and this is just because you're going to be dropping boxes constantly, and no matter what, they're going to be worth a decent amount of coins to you in the early game. Also, if you drop something like a golden Jerry box as well, that's even better. For those of you who are mid to late game though, grinding these skills is still very important, and most of these 4 skills don't actually have mayors that help them get any additional skill XP, so if you have any downtime, I highly recommend doing this. You will be making a little bit of passive money. Even though the actual Jerry mobs aren't that great for mid to late game players, there is one perk that comes from Jerry that is extremely nutty, and that is going to be the Perkocalypse. This perk essentially makes it so every 6 hours you get all 3 perks of every single mayor in the game, which is absolutely insane. Not only is 6 hours a good amount of time, but a lot of these mayors can be making a ton of money. And not only can some of these mayors usually be making a ton of money, but the supply for all of the items of these mayors have actually gone down quite a bit, are actually going to be extremely low during this event because it only lasts for 6 hours, which means things like the Marina event and Diana event may actually make more money than they would usually make just because of the already low supply. Some really good examples of mayors to take advantage of are the Marina Mayor, for example, can make millions and millions of coins per hour during her fishing festival event, which are almost guaranteed to happen during the Perkocalypse, and she also makes a decent amount of fishing XP. The next one is going to be the Diana Mayor. The Diana Mayor also makes tons and tons of money, and if you have the gear to do the event, you also should be able to make a good amount of money. The biggest and important mayor coming up recently is going to be the Coal Mayor. Those 2 mayors are really good for making money, but the really big benefit about this Perkocalypse is going to be Mayor Coal. Mayor Coal very rarely gets voted into the game because he's only really good for mining in this game, and the vast majority of players don't mine enough to take advantage of him. For all the late game players in the game like me, his mining fiesta event is absolutely insane. If you've recently gotten to a money making method known as gemstone farming, which makes tons of money per hour, being around the marks of anywhere around 20 to 40 million coins, this event literally doubles the drops that you get, meaning you will make double money gemstone farming when this mayor is out. This is extremely good for late players doing gemstone farming, and I know there's a lot of you out there doing it. Please take advantage of this. This is huge. The next thing is this perk is also really good because it adds back refined minerals into the game. These minerals aren't worth a whole lot on AH, but since it's been so long since we've had a mare coal, they are worth a lot more than they usually are. You're going to be making money on whatever you're mining. You're going to be making money on refined mithrils during this event, and you're going to be making money when spawning in Jerry's as well. Doing mining is good for all late game, mid game, and early game players respectively. You're going to be making a ton of money during this event. And yet another thing to keep in mind for the Perkocalypse is going to be the Diaz Mare. One of the perks of Diaz Mare is to increase the buy limit of all items by 10 times from NPC. At face value, this doesn't sound like a fantastic perk, but has one really big benefit, and that is for flipping most materials from NPCs. This is really good in situations with ice and packed ice, for example, which are ridiculously cheap from NPC and ridiculously expensive on Bazaar. Not only that, but they added ice arrows into the game, which means a ton of packed ice in order to craft them, which means this demand for ice is going to be higher. When Diaz comes out, I highly recommend you fill your inventory with as much packed ice and ice as you can. As you can see, if I buy a stack of packed ice right now, I can buy it for about 576 coins and then sell it straight back to Bazaar for 1,896. It's literally a money dupe glitch. You have to be pretty quick on this one though, because other people are going to be trying to do the same thing. Some other really good synergy for Perkocalypse is going to be grinding dungeons. Paul is eventually going to end up coming out during this event, and he's going to have every single one of his perks, his blessing, score, and chest perk. These are all super good by itself, but Jerry also has his third perk, which is going to be the one that gives you 10% more stats. This scales in dungeons, and it's going to make doing dungeons significantly easier. Not only are you going to have all of Paul's perks, but then you're going to have 10% more of your own stats, which means your health is going to be insane, and so is your damage. Doing dungeons is going to be an absolute breeze. Not only just that, but while you're doing dungeons, as you kill mobs, Jerry's are going to be constantly spawning in, making even more passive money. Dungeons has some fantastic synergy, and if you've got a good setup right now, it's a really good time to do it. And finally, we're getting around to the last really good mare, which is going to be Aatrox. Aatrox is another fantastic mare as well. He's going to have all three of his fantastic perks, which is going to be slashed prices, better chance to get drops, as well as getting more Slayer XP from doing Slayers. Now, this is all good by itself because sometimes you don't get 3 perk Aatrox, but on top of that, you have a bonus 10% stats, which again is going to make doing Slayers significantly faster because you're going to be doing more damage and significantly easier. It may be the difference from some people being able to do certain Slayers and some being able to not. Not only this, but a lot of people don't take into account that the 10% buff also applies to Magic Find, meaning that you're also going to be having a better chance to get all of the rare drops into this game. The Jerry Mare is absolute nuts, but now it's time to get started with the flips. And with the flips, there's basically an infinite amount of opportunities here. Some of the really big flips that you're obviously going to want to take advantage of is all of the Jerry related items. This means when the Jerry event starts, and we're about 2 to 3 days into the Jerry event, we're going to have a massive supply of Jerry boxes, meaning the prices for all of these are going to drop down tremendously. What you can do here is go ahead and buy yourself a ton of these different boxes and simply save them for when the mare is gone. The prices are bound to go back up. You can also do this with other items in the game, like Jerry talismans, for example. A base price for a green Jerry talisman right now is 750k, but when the mare comes out, this is most definitely going to go down, maybe even to less than half. If you invest in a bunch of Jerry talismans, you can also flip these. Talismans are generally in high demand, so it's a really good idea to grab these. And the last important Jerry item I'm going to really recommend you grab is probably going to be the Jerry Sheen Gun. As of right now, it's really low price on the AH, and it's probably going to drop even lower. The big thing about this item though is it's in extremely high demand for those of us doing dungeons, specifically floor 7. It's a very fantastic item, and you really need it in floor 7 if you want to get anywhere. If you grab this item while it's super low price, I promise you eventually it'll have a very high demand and you can end up selling it. That's just for the Jerry flips. I can't really go through all the flips into the game right now, but keep in mind that every single other mare is going to be added into the game, which means if you have some creativity right now, just think of all the different opportunities you have. When Marina comes out, you're going to be able to buy great white shark teeth for super cheap, sell them for super high. When Diana comes out, you can buy things like washed up souvenirs for super cheap and then later sell them for super high. When Paul comes out, there's a chance that dungeon items may drop, though it's kind of unlikely, and the same thing applies to Slayers. There is a massive amount of opportunities when it comes to flips in this game, and I really hope you guys are able to take advantage of them because this is by far the greatest mare for doing flips in the game. It literally has all of the different mares flips combined. And that's basically going to wrap up this video. This was a really weird video because this mare has a ton of different things to him. If this video ultimately ended up helping you out, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps out so much more than you think. Not only that, if you'd actually like to see guides for some of the other mares in the game, I have guides for a lot of the other mares up on my channel, in which I'll throw a card up on the screen right now, and all of these guides are extremely recent. Even if you don't want to watch these videos, if you are in it for the flips, consider skipping to the end of those videos as well, because there is a part in every video about the flips that you can do during the mares. All right, like I said before, I hope this helped you out. This was a pretty big video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.